It's now time for Me and My Roku with host Peter Clay.
59% of the time, it works all the time.
Incidentally, this is Peter.
So we have a voicemail now from Peter.
Pete, you are not.
Not everybody sounds like Peter Clay.
This is what it's all about, isn't it?
Peter Clay is here today.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Well, hello, and welcome to another edition of Me and My Roku. I'm your host, Peter Clay. Still kicking, still around, coming back, checking around, see how everyone else is doing with their Rokus and streaming devices and all that stuff. The me part of this show is just I have found it easier to have you walk in my shoes kind of a little bit or something like that. It's just easier for me to show what I do, so then for you to go, oh, okay, or what an idiot. It's all good. I'm not endorsed or anything from Roku. I did not get any special treatment or anything along those lines. It's just what I use along with other things as well, as we will get to later in this program. Anyway, so how are you doing? I know it's a me show and all that stuff. It seems weird for me to have to ask how you are doing as we're getting through at least almost 60 days of whatever this is that we're into. And so we're in a stay-at-home order in this state of the union where I'm recording in. And maybe you are as well. Maybe some of you are starting to see the seams come undone a little bit. And we're getting close, I think. I don't know. Every time I think we're going to get somewhere, no, not now. After 2 months now, no, you must wear masks when you go somewhere now. It's just like, okay. So as time goes on, fleeting thoughts come more and more. And I know some people still think that that's not allowed, and tisk tisk, there's a lot of those out there, and it says, no, this is the most dangerous thing we've ever had and all that stuff. And as these things go longer, I start just to myself, it's okay, I don't really think too out loud. It's like, am I really any safer or any more at risk than I was 2 months ago, 4 months ago, a year ago? I mean, stuff was still floating around and all that stuff, wasn't it? You know, I was listening to a podcast called The Better Life. It's a cute show, and it's kind of taking the same process that I use for this show. Is this person shows how they gamble, or gaming, we'll say, and all that stuff, and what they do and all that stuff, and then they float around the tips and tricks and stuff like that. And so about a year or two ago, so he added a co-host along those lines. Someone, you know, if you've been following along on Twitter and in that realm, you would know and all that stuff. And they're talking, and they're just like having none of it. I mean, if the casinos opened tomorrow, they would be like, yeah, no, not happening. And I'm like, okay. I mean, this is the cleanest they've been in forever. But I would say, myself personally, is like, let the degenerates get back in there. The ones that would just climb in, you know, are crawling at the doors right now. Let them have their little moment, and then after about a couple of days or a week or so or something, I might check it out and to see what's going on. What does it look like, you know? I just can't imagine you were at any more risk than you were 2 months ago, a year ago. That's just me. That's okay. But in the meantime, maybe I've had too much Roku and all that stuff. We'll get through this. It's going to be okay. I'm at the point now, when it comes to the tisk-tiskers and all that stuff, if you want to stay home, stay home. If you don't want to gamble anymore, you don't want to go to a casino anymore, don't. You know, if you've been pondering the meaning of life and all that stuff, and been, you know, saying secretly to someone and all that stuff, saying, just give me a sign type of thing. It's like, hey, I just stopped the whole world. What do you want to do? Do you just want to sit there and watch your Roku? Or do you want to start something? Or do you want to finish something? Or along those lines? What do you want to do? The whole world is stopped. What are you going to do with it? It can be the greatest opportunity, or it can be, well, the greatest, I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, we got things to talk about. Let's get started.
Don't you know?
Alrighty. Well, there's nothing like kicking off another rousing edition of Me and My Roku by talking about the Amazon Fire TV. Why not? It's another streaming device. It's out there, and I'm sure plenty of you have it. I have one as well here. And the only reason being so is because Amazon itself is giving away 1 year free of the Amazon Kitchen app. Now, what's that? What separates that from the regular Food Network app? The Food Network Kitchen app has live kitchen, chefs, preparing a recipe and all that stuff. You turn it in live from people's kitchens and stuff like that. So, plus they do have Food Network programming and all that stuff. It's a pretty good deal. You sign up for 1 year. You do it right through your Amazon Fire TV, and then if you're on another device, now not Roku. Now, I know this is a Roku show for the most part, but it's mostly about streaming and all that stuff. You can then also get on iOS and I believe on Android. I haven't checked that out. And then maybe from Android, you can maybe Chromecast. I don't know. I haven't checked it out yet. I'll get more details on that. However, I was able to use it on the Fire TV and then on an Apple device. So there, you have it. Philo, we've got everything but sports. Seems to be doing well right now because everyone else is getting a little edgy here as there's no sports. So why are you charging twice as much if you don't have sports? Well, Dish Network, the carrier and home of Sling TV, is starting to get a little on edge with ESPN and starting to want to say, how about you give a little bit some of that back since there's no sports? And ESPN saying, well, we've got the Jordan documentary, we had the NFL draft, we've got UFC coming up, even though you have to do that on ESPN Plus mostly and all that stuff. So tensions could rise a little bit as people are starting to get out of their houses a little more maybe, or starting to want to as the weather starts getting nicer. So we could see some tension. So be on the lookout there. But in the meantime, if you don't need sports, Philo is a good one. I'll have a disclosure about that later in the program. But in the meantime, enjoy what you have with your Roku, even if you have to go to the Fire TV to get Amazon Food Network Kitchen. But that's okay. Here on me and my Roku. Okay. Well, as the lockdown continues and I'm starting to get through all my shows and all that stuff, I'm looking for other things and little things to make things easier. Been leaning a little more towards Plex a little bit. And instead of trying to find where everything is, the Just Watch app is a good source, But if I want a movie right now, do I really want to look it up and try and find something like that? I've been going through my DVDs that I've got and then kind of throwing them onto Plex type of thing, leaning on that. And also, they're starting to do their own ad-based video-on-demand service as well. Well, they've just added to that now and by incorporating Crackle in with Plex. And Crackle is a decent service. We were watching it last week. We watched TJ Hooker and we watched Charlie's Angels and watched a couple of things. But the interface on Crackle is just a little... First of all, there's a splash screen that comes right on as you get in there. And, the volume on that is a little loud and all that stuff, at least on our system and stuff. So I have found Crackle just a little... And then the ads, you get a 10-minute segment and then you've got it's seemingly 8 to 12 commercials, and some of them are the same type of thing. So Crackle has been kind of hit or miss on that. So being incorporated with Plex, I checked it out. I didn't quite get what I tend to go to Crackle for, and that's some of the classic TV shows that they have. The movies are laid out nice, and then by genre and all that stuff, and that seemed fine. And I started watching Sabrina with Humphrey Bogart and Audrey Hepburn, and that seemed well and all that stuff, and I wasn't annoyed by the commercials or anything like that. So this could kind of work if you need a little something else, if you've been dabbling with Plex. Now, that's the other thing I was looking for on this, to see if this was an actual thing that Crackle endorsed type of thing, and it seemingly seems so. That was one of the kind of iffy issues I've never wanted to talk about Plex, is that they used to have what they would call plugins where you could get CBS and HGTV and all that stuff, and that was this really on the up and up. Seems like they were just scraping off what was off the CBS's or HGTV's website. So if they were broadcasting it on their own website, why couldn't you just take the video? Anyway, so I'm sure some people have issues on that type of stuff. So I don't talk about that stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about now Crackle. Seems to be good, and I've seen various sources that promoted it. So it seems to be on the up and up, and it seems to be working fine in this household. So therefore, I recommended it for you and your Roku here on me and my Roku. Okay, kids, gather around. Safe distance, though, 6 feet apart. Let's go. But come around so we can have a little chit-chat here. As forever and always, I invite you to look at the Internet Archive and consider supporting them. Without them, we would not have the bandwidth to do this podcast, and they've been doing that since 2005. I thank them, and I love them, and all that stuff. So please check them out. I have I want to say a moment of desperation, but, things happen. And as we're going through this, we all know we're all going through something right now. And I'm not trying to brag or say this is that and that, but, a company that I have been working for 10 years gave me a phone call the other day and said, well, hey, dude, we don't have a business right now, so we can't afford it. So they've been very gracious in paying me for the last month while I didn't do anything for them. And they've been very gracious in some of the things that they've done for my retirement and all that stuff. So I'm not going to bang on them for that stuff. That's just the reality. And I'm sure that a lot of people are in a lot worse situations like that. And I completely relate to what they're going through at this time. So it's all good. And so I'm not putting out a tip jar or anything like that. However, I have started to reach out to certain things to maybe sponsor the program, and so things that they would have to be a win-win, so that there's something for you in it, there's something for me in it, and there's something for them in it. A win-win-win type of thing. And so the two things that I've gone for, the one is I've applied for sponsorship for Philo to come on the program. I talked about them earlier. And so I'm not going to say anything that I haven't said anything before. All of these things are fine, whether it's Philo, YouTube TV, or Hulu, or anything like that. They're all good. It just seems at this time, though, why would you not want to try Philo right now and pay half the price than you would for something that the only thing they offer differently maybe would be having sports, and there's no sports right now. So they're all good. They're all fine. But if you want to try something for 7 days, that's the only hitch to it. Let's go for it, Let's put it out there. The other one is videopoker.com. I don't have websites for these things. I've not improved. I'm just being transparent. I'm just saying what's going on and all that stuff. One of the things that, as you know, if you've been listening to this program, we just celebrated my half century back in February in Vegas. Probably got, exposed to, something. But hey, we're fine. We're all alive here so far. And everyone who went is fine. But one of the things I like doing, and what is helping me pass the time, is playing the contests on videopoker.com. You can do it for free. There's free contests and stuff like that. You don't have to do anything. It is an enormous amount of ads. Okay, I use the silver program where there's no ads, and I get a couple other benefits and all. And there's a gold program as well. I'm just practicing and rehearsing, so if they do want it sponsorship, here it is. So if you want to check those out for yourself, go for it. Type of things. So the Internet Archive, Philo, videopoker.com, and there's a donate button on radioaffliction.com if you want to help out too. But we're going to be fine. Don't worry about things, folks. If nothing else, I'll put out a thing saying I'll podcast for food and all that stuff. So either way, it's not going to affect me and my Roku. That's still coming down. You can't get rid of me that easy. So consider supporting today, archive.org, and anything else that you feel you need to support. Okay. Hey, well, one thing before I get to news and notes and all the good stuff. Continuing the support theme a little bit there. In the feed for this podcast, I have been putting a link to one of the ways I get gift cards, so I get a lot of this programming for free and all that stuff. So I've been including that. So I have an actual website for that now. It's Swagbucks. That's one of the things that I use. And it's swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. So if you just go to that link right there, that'll take you there, and you won't have to do anything. You can log in, and that'll help me out then as well too. So I'm looking for a few good people to come in and help out there. I have a partner too, and they've really helped out on all stuff, and so it's been able to help me continue on with the Roku universe and getting different programs so that I can come back and report to you all the good things out there. So swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Check that out. Hey, we were talking about Dish and ESPN earlier, and a lot of that fighting with regional sports networks and all that stuff too. Well, here's something that's going to get out there too. Universal has drawn the ire of AMC theaters, and they says when this is all over and we can reopen our movie theaters, we will no longer be showing Universal movies because of the Trolls World Tour movie. They just took out of the theaters altogether and put to streaming and said, hey, we might do this from now on. And AMC Theaters is saying, go right ahead, because you won't be doing it here. So we'll have to see what movie viewing is like. I'm sure some people are still going to want to go to the theater and all that stuff. I've gone maybe twice in the last 10 years. We saw Bohemian Rhapsody and one of those Twilight movies, and you can obviously tell I was strung along on some of that stuff. I didn't see any of the Star Wars and all that stuff. I kind of knew what was going to happen and all that stuff, so I just waited for them to come out and all that stuff. Hey, were you a fan of Lost? I saw the last season or so and stuff. I don't know, but it's available. The whole season. The whole series. Is available on IMDb TV. That's available through your Amazon Prime app on Roku. I won't get to the Fire TV stuff because obviously you can get it there, but all this stuff. But that's getting a little easier to find on the Roku app on Amazon Prime. But you can check that out starting May 1st. That Pluto, adding more channels. It's getting almost clogged a little bit, but it's not too bad. But Pluto is adding 4 new channels, this from AMC. One of them a Walking Dead channel in both English and Spanish, so lots of good stuff there. Tastemade is being available as part of the Sling TV free stuff type of thing. Now, I will admit I will check Sling out every now and then, more for reporting status and all that stuff. So if you have Sling and you love Sling, boom, go for it. Go with it and all that stuff. It's fine. I check it out. Tastemade does have a Roku app, and you can get all the stuff on there as well too. So no sense in doing something that you can already do. Now here's an interesting news and note. ESPN Plus, Quibi, Apple TV Plus, CBS All Access, Sundance Now, and Showtime Now are seeing an uptick in subscriptions throughout this lockdown period type of thing, but 59% of them are on a free trial. So what does that mean? Is people going to let them go after that? And are they really making anything out of this? Conversely, out of Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu, 70% of or higher, like Netflix 77%, Hulu 69%, they're all paid. So they're making the money, while the other ones, they're trying them, but will they hold on? That is the question. Fascinating stuff there. We're all trying this stuff out, but now will we keep them? That's the trick. Looks like I'm not done with Pluto. Not only adding those shows from AMC, now they're also adding the People Are Awesome channel, the Game Show Central channel, the Andromeda channel, if you're into sci-fi, the OAN Encore, and the AWE Encore. Is that an awe? So I have it right here. Awe is a wealth of entertainment. That's what that stands for. Lifestyle entertainment delivers the American dreams of awe-inspiring travel destinations, outrageous cars, culinary delights, and amazing homes. Wow. And boxing. Why not? OAN America's News Encore is the best way to stay up to date with the latest news, discussion, debate. Andromeda is based on the science fiction series. I said that. Game show. They have Look for America Says 1 versus 100, Friend or Foe, Minute to Win It, and more. Okay, there you have it. A couple of changes here in the lineup for us here. We had to let go, well, we didn't have to. We decided to let go of Acorn and CBS All Access. Got through Picard and all of our CBS shows that we get through the season. Picard is an android. Oh, spoiler, sorry. All that good stuff. So, hey, good. Most of Star Trek that has come out in the last 10 years has been kind of a thanks but no thanks type of thing, even with Discovery for that matter. This show really tugged at the heartstrings, even if you were a casual fan of The Next Generation and the movies. So it basically picks up from the end of Star Trek Nemesis and then from kind of the point where Spock did what he did leading into the new movie type of thing. So, yeah, there you have it. Pretty good stuff. But we'll get back to them in the fall, most likely. Although I did get a little hint from the little missus that she did kind of miss the consistency that she was getting from watching the live CBS channel on there, too. So I've noticed her getting up in the morning and having to mess with the antenna to get it over the air. So I might get bribed back into it, but we'll see. Acorn, lovely channel. Thank you for the 30 days from Apple TV on that. But we must move on. We got through the Miss Fisher murders mysteries and Ms. Fisher's murder mysteries. We got through both of them, and we enjoyed both of them very much. So if you're looking for something along those lines, like murder mysteries and stuff like that, but done with a little tongue-in-cheek and high-class entertainment type of thing, I think there's still free samples out there for you to try on that if you wish. If not, Acorn's like, I don't know, $4 or $5 a month. But I know things are tight right now. We still have Hulu, and we renewed that. That's only like $6, and I think I had a gift card for that as well. And we still have Disney Plus, because how can you get rid of Disney? I mean, come on, jeepers creepers. All right, folks, I should get back to my Roku. I'm starting to get a little itchy, a little twitchy. But I'm so glad that I could come in and spend some time with you. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying doing it with you. Thanks once again to archive.org for their support. Couldn't do it without them. I thank them. I love them, and continuing doing the great stuff that they do at archive.org. If you want to help support the program, swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. Check it out, sign up, and I just play videos. Well, then I'll just let a computer go and all that stuff, and that usually takes care of it. But there's fun things to do as well, surveys and all that stuff. If you feel like they're going to be giving away your personal information, then don't do it. It's okay. But if you want to get free programming for stuff, get the gift cards, check it out today, swagbucks.radioaffliction.com. You can subscribe to the Me and My Roku podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, Spotify, TuneIn, YouTube, iHeartMedia, and radio.com. Follow me on Twitter at Radio Affliction. Feel free to send a message or anything like that, or just say hi. Also, Pierre Argyle on Instagram. Check that out. Not so much of all the things I used to find in my last business anymore, but that's okay. You can check it out. I'm still doing wonderful, fun, funny things there as well. Now, this is a Me and My Roku show. It's a me show, but you can participate as well. So feel free to email me. Yes, okay. I will pass things along as well if you wish. Email me at meandmyrokupodcast@gmail.com. Hey, we're going to be okay, folks. I'm going to be okay. You're going to be okay. And if not, well, hey, maybe it's better in another land or something like that. But hey, we'll be all right. I'm hoping enjoying you and your Roku as much as I'm enjoying me and my Roku. And I'll be back with you real soon.